This is Victor Esquivel. My journey are short interviews of people I've met who help our community in many ways. Get to know these heroes and learn from them. Watch my journey. Our guest is an extraordinary school band director. He's the recipient of many awards from the state of Washington. Instead of going through his bio, let's watch this short video that explains some way who Darren really is.
In the Seattle area, we're blessed with amazing high school bands who win national competitions. But every kid has to start somewhere. Darren Motamedy teaches 5th and 6th graders in Kent, many of whom have never picked up an instrument in their lives. As you watch this story from Josephine Chang, keep in mind that Darren composed all of the music that you're going to hear.
4 beats in a measure.
4 beats in a measure.
And a quarter note gets 1 count.
And a quarter note gets 1 count.
No worries.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Many 5th and 6th graders in Kent would never learn about beats or breaths or embouchures.
Right? You want to play like that, not this.
Unless they enter the marvelous world of Darren Motamedy, by night a professional saxophonist. And by day, a band teacher the kids call Mr. Mo.
We include everybody. If you want to be in band, you can be in band. Okay, let's pretend we're at a concert, okay?
Mr. Mo travels to 5 schools throughout Kent, hoping to strike a chord with hundreds of kids each year.
There you go, much better.
Why? Because as a kid, school was never his forte.
Cool. I was always in trouble. I broke the bus window when I was in 5th grade. I was breaking desks, and I was just clumsy too.
But music helped you.
Music saved my life. I'm just telling you, music saved my life. 1 and 2 and ready and play.
So Mr. Mo pays it forward. See that kid in the back? He couldn't see well, wasn't in tune with school. But Mr. Mo got him jazzed up.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Mo has inspired Fernando so much. His music has encouraged him in all other areas of his studies and has shown him that practice pays off, that working hard pays off, and that you can do anything you try to do.
Anything's possible, even for a kid. That's why Mr. Mo writes music for his students and sometimes arranges for paying gigs.
And Fernando comes so excited one day, he goes, Mrs. P, we got $26 last night, $26.
A lot of families may not have the financial means to buy an instrument or even rent an instrument. What, as a band teacher, can you do?
I don't know, I probably have 50 instruments at home where I've just collected.
He gave me a trombone.
Mr. Mo gave you a trombone?
Yeah.
Wow. Why did he do that?
Why? Because they need them. But also, I mean, I love my kids, and so we can stop for a second, but...
He's far more than an elementary band teacher. Oh, yeah.
A teacher who helps kids learn about playing the sharps and flats of life for all they're worth.
Yeah, Mr. Mo. Well, you know, I heard you say that you collect instruments, so we'll make this 51. Way back in the day, like way back in the day, 40 years ago in junior high and high school, I played saxophone. Wow. So I'd like to give this to you, because I know it's going to have a good home.
Thank you.
All right. And congratulations.
Well, thank you, too. Why, I'm truly humbled to be here today. Because of my family's legacy, I've always felt that I had a lot to prove in my life. My grandfather was on the very first League of Nations, and he used his diplomatic skills to try to heal the world with his voice, to try to make the world one. My father moved to America in the 50s, and he became a doctor. And he was one of the first doctors to deliver the polio vaccine. and he healed children through his gift. Music is the medicine that I try to use. It's the vehicle to bring students together, students of all colors, all religions, Hindu kids, Somali kids, black, brown, white. In band, we celebrate the individual effort, and yet we realize as a team, we're building the next community of Americans, note by note and song by song. This Christmas Eve, my son grasped my wife and my hands during dinner, and he asked if he could pray with us. He simply said, "Daddy, even though the world can be bad, we're still good. Amen." Today, I continue to teach, understanding the huge responsibility that I bear to make a difference in this world through music. I try to touch the greatness of my father and my grandfather, and I strive to live up to the prophetic words of my son, "We're all good." Thank you.
You're a very accomplished musician and an artist. Why teach?
Why do I teach? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's why. Because, yeah, I'm an accomplished artist. Yes, I've got 16 CDs out. Yes, I've been a musician for 55 years now, been playing since I was 10 years old. Because this is what musicians do. They pass on the art to younger people to keep the art alive, especially in the jazz world. This is what we do. We teach the young people how to play music, but really music is more than music. Music is a social way of living in the world, and we really teach all of our students that equity is important, responsibility is important, the color of your skin is not important. It's how you treat people with respect and dignity and caring about the world and how we can make this world a better place.
How many students do you have at the moment?
I have, at least, I think I have about 350 kids in my program. I get here at 6 o'clock, jazz band starts at 7 o'clock, school's out at 3:26, and I leave here about 4:30 every day.
That's a lot to handle by yourself. Do you have an assistant?
Well, do I have help in the school? I have help from everybody in the school because we are an IB school, and an IB school takes care of each other. And IB school is a school that looks beyond the United States. We look at the entire world as our home, not just Las Vegas, Nevada. So do I have help? Yeah, I have help from the IB teacher. I have help from the secretaries. I have help from the principal. Everybody at our school helps. And do I have a full hand and a full house here? Yes. Is it taxing? Heck yeah. Is it worth it? Absolutely.
How do you select the students, or is there a selection process?
Selection process of band is pretty straightforward. All the incoming fifth graders come into the school. They've signed up for percussion class, brass class, woodwind class, or they play bass guitar as well. And the bass guitar players, really I get them involved because I want them to be in jazz band. So how do I select them? Well, the first year they're just put into the class that they select. So there's not really a big selection process. At the end of the years where I decide where should my students go, based on, again, social skills. To me, social skills outweigh performance skills. So social skills first. Are they mature enough to be in the top band? Can I trust them if we go on tour? Can I trust them with their instruments? Can I trust them to practice? So I would say the biggest part of selection is trustworthiness, and secondly, it would be performance skills.
What is your favorite moment, or we might say highlight of your career?
The musicians that I played with Grover when I was younger. I played with Ronnie Laws, and actually we are friends now. I played with Kenny G in the studio up in Seattle, Washington. I would say the highlight of my career now is doing what I'm doing, which is performing, flying to different states and performing in different states. And I think the absolute highlight is watching my kids at Johnson Junior High School perform at jazz fests and symphonic jazz fests and spring concert and our holiday winter concert. That's the highlight.
Why Las Vegas? You have a big fan base in Kent, Washington.
Why Las Vegas? Because I was so successful in Washington that I needed a change. I needed to challenge myself more because I felt like I was becoming stagnant. I was the first call saxophone player. I got called for corporate events. I was working 5-6 days a week. I was teaching. I got the Golden Apple Award winner in Seattle, Washington, and that was the entire state. I was Teacher of the Year for the entire state. I was also the Teacher of the Year in my district. And I just really needed a change and really needed to challenge myself because that's the only way you can grow. If you do the same thing too much, you become stagnant and actually go backwards. So Las Vegas was a perfect opportunity to build my skills, which I have.
When did you start playing the saxophone?
It's a long time ago. I first started playing clarinet when I was 10 years old in Washington State. And I started playing saxophone late in high school when I tried to join the jazz band on my clarinet. My instructor laughed at me and said, "You can't play clarinet, you gotta play saxophone." So I picked up a saxophone, and in fact, if you look up there, up on the wall, is my very first saxophone that a lady gave to me. It's a Holton saxophone, and she gave me that back in 1974, but I think it's like from the 20s. That instrument is from the 20s. So I've been playing for 55 years, and I still don't feel like I've arrived. You got a long ways to go. I think when you quit improving is the day that you leave this earth.
Which of your students stand out to you the most?
Wow, what student hangs out the most? Well, I would have to say my pianist from last year, Damascus Bradford, has got to be the guy that most exemplifies and personifies excellence and really this desire to improve. He's got this natural curiosity, and that's really the difference between really good musician and somebody that craves to be great, and that's what he does. He craves it. Well, I have a lot of great students. I have students that have gone on to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. I have most of my kids get enrolled into the Las Vegas Academy. And the next big step actually has been going on for about a year. I have 4 or 5 students that I meet with, and we write music. And we've written 7, 8 tunes so far in less than a year. And that is the next step, is to really feature these young people playing compositions. And I'm really acting not only as a writer, but mostly as a producer and highlighting the great talents of these individual students.
What is your next big step as a teacher?
The next big step for me, I started a band with some former students, and it's called Just Some Kids from School. And we get together and we write on a weekly basis, and then I produce what we write. So I have some amazingly talented students that I'm really trying to promote and push and let them be the next generation of musicians to take over when I'm gone.
Amongst your compositions, which ones are your favorites?
My favorite composition is the current composition that I'm working on at any time, because I feel like that is where I'm headed. That's the culmination of 55 years of work. So, you know, all my songs are my favorites. They're like my babies.
Do you gig with groups in Las Vegas?
Well, I have played at Delilah. I have played at Maxon Jazz Lounge. I have played the Rat Pack Show. I have done some jazz concerts in the parks. And to be honest with you, I think my favorite band to play with is up in Seattle.
Do you have mentors in Las Vegas or anywhere that you listen to, and how do they elevate you to your success?
Do I have idols? Every musician, every jazz musician especially, has idols. And to say they're idols is kind of, let me start this again.
Okay.
I don't think that musicians to me are idols. I consider them mentors. I think the best mentors are the musicians that I play with. For example, Ronnie Laws. He was a guy that I studied a lot when I was young. When I actually got on the stage with him and played with Ronnie Laws, that was A, a dream come true, and B, a culmination of a lot of years of hard work, and I was able to be on stage with him and perform with him and be me, and he was him, and I got off the stage feeling proud of what I was doing.
This is Victor Esquivel. My journey are short interviews of people I've met who help our community in many ways. Get to know these heroes and learn from them. Watch my journey. This is Victor Esquivel. My journey are short interviews of people I've met who help our community in many ways. Get to know these heroes and learn from them. Watch my journey.